What's up all you Batman loving dudes and dudettes, Toyshiz here, and I am back yet again to give you guys another DC Multiverse McFarlane fresh look. Today, we're going to be checking out the brand new Bat-Raptor and the Batman Detective Comics Batman number 1000. And I am very excited to be looking at this Bat-Raptor. I think that getting a vehicle in the first wave of any type of action figures is just old school, baby, and that looks fantastic. So happy to open that up. The Batman, he's okay looking. I'm going to have to wait to kind of see him out of packaging. I see some flaws here and there, but the box is huge. The Batman one, standard of course, but the Bat-Raptor, it's like the size of a cake box. You know what I mean? Hopefully, maybe you can institute that box and do some really giant figures a la like Cygor. Remember that guy? Spawn fans, you'll know what I'm talking about. But the back of the boxes look good. Got a little bit of some Batman artwork and also some Bat-Raptor artwork. Apparently the Bat-Raptor comes from the Batman Who Laughs, one of the story arcs in that. I don't particularly remember that vehicle, I'll be honest, but a lot of the art style changes so often that DC comics are just kind of confusing to me. But here's the barcode for the modern Batman. Again, thanks to McFarlane Toys for making this real simple, putting the names above the barcodes. What an interesting development. But enough say, you got stuff to do, I got stuff to do. Let's go ahead, let's open up this new Batman number 1000 and the Bat-Raptor Vehicle by McFarlane Toys. And here is Batman and his Bat-Raptor all out of the packaging, and this is exciting. This is a lot of fun. The figure, he's okay. He's a decent Batman. Let's just say that right at the bat. But the Bat-Raptor is the star of the show here. This is a exciting vehicle. There's so much good stuff going on. There's paint, there's weathering, there's huge tires and stuff. Look at the size of these tires. They're ridiculous. Come on. And they're heavy. This is a vehicle, it's a pretty heavy, hefty vehicle, and I really appreciate that. Plus, Batman fits in there. It's a weird design, but it's so like Kenner-ish. Of course, Batman would lay down on his stomach. I don't know. It's kind of like also Batman, the Dark Knight, you know, when his thing breaks off. It just reminds me of that, like that Batmobile, and maybe it's a scooter, something like that. But there's so much good things going on. The exhaust ports are painted beautifully. It's got this like really cool chrome paint. There's red lights to it. There's little Batman, I guess. You know, again, there's little Batman things everywhere all over this thing. There's buttons and not so much levers. I wish there was maybe like two handheld sticks or something for him to hold on to kind of control, because otherwise he just kind of puts his hands in there. But again, that's just like a nitpick. I really like that red sort of window dashboard thing that he's got going on. There's paint inside for his, I guess, chest rest. I guess that's the best way to describe it. But so much little intricate little details and sculpting and everything else. I love that Batman just has to personalize everything. But the vehicle is huge, and it does extend as well, and it does also miniaturize itself a little bit. It's just a little feature of this particular Bat-Raptor vehicle. The underside, I thought it was going to be plain. I'm so used to having vehicles flip them over. There's nothing to them. It's got this really nice chrome paint going on to it. Looks like it's weathered and everything else. The engine's all dirty and rusted, and they knocked it out of the park on this one. This is a fantastic, cool vehicle. I'm having a blast with this. The front of the tire, you know, that's got those little they look like little Batman Beyond stuff. Batman himself comes with his grappling hook, his gas-powered grappling hook, and it is attached to a wire. The wire isn't removable, but it looks like it's shooting out, and it very tip of it has a bat symboled grapple to it. Again, Batman just has to personalize everything. And one thing that I will say I like is that they didn't reuse the one that came with Batgirl. They're both distinctly different. One's like a female hand-sized one, one's the Batman hand-sized one, and they both come with batarangs. Batgirl's got the gold, and Batman's got the black. I will say this, though, they're a little bit thick. After seeing the Batgirl one and seeing Batman's, they're a little thick, but dang, when you got Batman, he just climbed out of the Bat-Raptor. He's going up, he's going to go, you know, scale like 50 stories, something like that, shooting his bat grapple hook. That looks cool. And if it's on your shelf and it's like within all your other Batman stuff, man, this is going to look like a great display. I absolutely love the way these two are intertwined with one another. The Batman holds his accessories fantastic. Like I said, the Batarang is a little bit too big, but he does hold it well, so that's a good thing. This Batman, I wasn't sure if I was going to like him, but I ended up liking him more than I thought. He's very much a classic looking Batman. His head is very teeny tiny Yes, and I don't like the way the cowl sculpted so that it kind of goes over his nose to a point, and it just looks weird. I'm not used to that style. I know I looked at some of the comics, it's kind of how they're doing it these days, but it's like I said, it's a different looking Batman. And who else but McFarlane can do a cape like this? If you've seen Spawn figures or anything else, if you've collected them, no one makes a better designed sculpted cape than McFarlane Toys. I will give you that. But I do like the articulation. In some points, it's a little wonky. I like the sculpted belt. You can do a lot of great things, a lot of great poses with this Batman, but let's look at it more in depth. First of all, I want to say the heftiness of this thing is really cool to me. The tires alone, I think they're real rubber tires. It's almost like what you'd find, I don't know, like on a big monster truck or a Power Wheel, something like that. Like they're huge, massive tires, and they all have little bat symbols kind of in the treads of the tire. But everything is really cool inside. There's a lot of buttons and levers and everything else. I would have liked to have seen something more as like a steering wheel for Batman once he's inside the cockpit or whomever, just to kind of grab onto. I think that would have been a little bit more realistic, because otherwise his two arms just go on either side of the control panel. It doesn't detract from it. It looks like he is reaching for something, but just a little extra element. There's little bats here and there, very personalized Batman style. I mean, he even put a Batman on the front of this thing, but it's very reminiscent of old Kenner days, and it's so cool to see like a large vehicle for a 6-inch figure, and it shows it can be done a lot more. The weathering, the silver, the little red wires going through, lots of little details and everything. This is a lot of fun. This is, to me, makes it worth buying the Batman and then having a vehicle for him, and then you could just put this on your shelf. You would be set. It looks very cool. This actually extends a little bit just to do the cool Batman thing, I guess. Apparently, I guess that's what it does in the comic book from which it's based. I thought maybe the underside would be a little bit bland, but it turns out it's got some nice gunmetal coloring to it. It's very, very cool. I'm actually really impressed by this. It's got these exhaust ports that are all, like, everything has paint on it in some way, minus the tires. And I dig that. I mean, even the dry brush looks like little metal scrape. It just, they knocked it out of the park. I had high hopes for this, and it was met. I absolutely love this. I actually really do like the look of this Batman. I was kind of on the fence about it, to be honest, when I first saw him. He does have an unusually tiny head. He does, but there's just something about it's just a very cool looking Batman. And yes, we're going to be talking about like proportions and everything else. They're a little bit like the head's off. We get it, but I can't discount it and say this isn't a cool, articulated looking Batman. I like the sculpt on him. I like the belt. Everything is cool. It's a new, different type of Batman, and one that I don't really have, I guess based on more of that rebirth costume, but it looks like a classic Batman. Obviously, this is the Batman 1000, but he's got some great articulation to him, up, down, left, right. I'm stoked on this Batman because this is the Batman that's going to go with the Bat-Raptor, and he's going to fit right in there. And yeah, you can fit other figures, of course, but this Batman, he's stylish. So you kind of just get him into this position, basically, and he's got the butterfly joints. I will say, I'm not a huge fan of these giant gappage in the thighs, but since he's primarily going to be doing this, it's a little bit more easy to accept. I guess the only way I could put it. And you kind of just put him right in the vehicle. You can extend that there, and bingo, bango, you just kind of situate him in there. And the best part is, he can look up really good, and once he's situated, boom, you got your Batman in the Bat-Raptor, and that's pretty cool. Come on. And here he is stacked up with the other figures in this particular wave, this one being the Batman Who Laughs. And I would say that finally we're kind of getting more in terms of an appropriate scale. These are technically the same character, being Bruce Wayne, so they both line up well. And here he is with the rest of the figures I've already taken a look at. And they seem to scale well with Batman. The Batman Who Laughs doesn't really fit. I would say Batgirl fits and doesn't fit. She's got a very large head, but Batman's got a teeny tiny one. Same thing with Arrow, they're about the same height, but Arrow just looks more of a beefier figure. Batman and Nightwing go together kind of, sorta, but Nightwing, again, he's got a giant head compared to Batman, but Batman's got a teeny tiny head compared to Nightwing. But nevertheless, if you got all these spaced out on your shelf, they all look good sitting next to this Bat-Raptor. I will tell you that it'll be for a nice display on your shelf if you can kind of forgo the height. I'm having a problem still with the height. I like height when it comes to figures, but if you got them situated in the Bat-Raptor, they all pretty much fit, and it is designed to situate all 7-inch figures from the slime for the most part. I mean, the Hellbat thing probably not going to fit in there, but Batgirl and Nightwing do fit. So overall, I'm going to say I definitely recommend the Bat-Raptor. The Batman, that's going to be up to you. You can always fit a different kind of Batman, different lines, something like that. I will post photos later on my Instagram showing whether Batman that can fit in this car or don't fit. But in the purpose of this review, and shout out and a thank you to McFarlane Toys for sending this over, it's just out of respect to say, you know what, we're focusing mainly on their figures and what can fit at the moment. But look forward to my Instagram, and I will have more later. I might even put some Golden Girls in there, who knows. But I am curious to know what you guys think. Will you be picking up this Bat-Raptor? How about the Batman? Comment below, let me know. Let's talk all things Dark Knight. I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee and some great food. But most importantly, remember, you know, I'm going into the Harley Quinn, well, let's just call it the Harley Quinn movie, the Birds of Prey movie with a complete open mind, because I just don't want to be disappointed. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.